That's right guys, you read the thumbnail, and the thumbnail does not lie. The Aqua S9 has surprisingly exceeded my expectations, and you'll see why the Cherry Mobile Aqua S9 is the best ultra-budget phone, despite the questionable processor Cherry Mobile chose. In the midst of the Flare S8 series, Cherry decided to change the Flare name to the now renamed Aqua brand, at least for their flagship S line that also includes the Aqua S9, Aqua S9 Max, and the Aqua Infinity.
Hello fellow technophiles, how's it going? Welcome to my Aqua S9 reviews. The box slides down like that and you can see the phone itself. Here we have the Aqua Blue version, as you can see here. But there are other colors as well, ranging from Jade Green, Flare Red, and finally Black. And yes, this Aqua Blue version is available in Cherry's Lazada store. Underneath the box, you can see a variety of accessories, including the power brick, a USB-C cable, some headphones, the SIM ejector tool, and finally, the clear hard case for your Aqua S9. Oh, I forgot to mention something. For every purchase of the Aqua S9, you get yourself a free SIM card with 1.5 gigabytes of surfing.
The phone has a 720p HD Plus 6.52-inch display with a water drop notch cutout. At the top houses the USB-C and the headphone jack. At the bottom, there's your speaker and microphone. On the left, the SIM card tray. And finally, on the right, we have the power button and the volume rockers. Looking at the back, the phone has a clean, sun ray pattern to it. And it is also where the 13MP quad camera array sits. One thing you'll notice is that there's no more fingerprint reader, which was included in the Flare S8. I hope the next phone in the series, the Aqua S10 series, includes both the facial scanner and the fingerprint reader so that the user has more convenience and more choices to unlock the phone, as well as even better security. When I turned on the phone for the first time, there's no bloatware. The only apps you see installed, other than the Google apps, are those downloaded from the Play Store. Seriously, these are all my pre-installed apps and games, which some I use for testing. Other than the apps in this folder, there are no other bloatware. Yes, as vanilla Android, it comes with an app drawer and a variety of Cherry Mobile's wallpapers. They are colorful and artistic, with many using line art. Booting the phone for the first time lets you add your face as part of the face recognition feature. It's fast and accurate, and cannot be fooled by images. However, I still prefer the old fingerprint scanner as it is more reliable, and with S9's facial scanner, it won't work if the phone is off or on standby. I hope they add both in the S10 series, as having both means that you have more features for the user as well as added security. The phone comes with a 720p HD display, IPS LCD, and a 20:9 screen ratio. Interestingly, it already has a screen protector built in, which you can see from mine. It's terribly scratched. Yeah, oopsies. That's not a problem though, because tempered glasses are easy to replace. The display comes with a dewdrop notch. Because it is an LCD screen, expect that you will have good contrast and sharpness, good viewing angles, and in conditions where there's decent lighting, the screen is very bright at maximum brightness. The phone is definitely good for reading. It has accurate blacks, and as previously mentioned, great contrast and sharpness. The blacks shine when you put the phone under dark mode, and the text looks crispy and is easy to read. The screen is bright under good lighting and for outdoor use. It struggles under direct sunlight, but that's okay for the price. The screen's colors are lacking, and images may turn out soft, which also happens on videos. However, this does not detract from the experience, and the phone can be used as normal. There is a quad camera setup at the back and a single 8MP shooter at the front. The main camera is 13 megapixels that is powered by a Sony IMX214 sensor, along with your usual ingredients of depth, macro, and monochrome. Technically, there's only one camera. The others are there mainly for enhancement. You will not get something like ultra-wide on this phone, but I'm not complaining. As for the photos, they are surprisingly good at daytime for a phone that's only 4,000 pesos. With decent lighting, photo quality is superb. It's not a Realme 7 nor a Redmi Note 9, but regular people may not even tell the difference between the two unless they pay attention closely. The daytime shots have good contrast, and shadows are easily controlled. However, the colors, while accurate, are lacking, with some areas vibrant and some are pale. Still, it doesn't detract from the experience and still feels lifelike. The front camera uses an 8MP sensor, so I tried and used it. As you can see, I'm not really good at taking selfies. Anyway, the selfie shots are not that bad honestly, though for me, the focal length is too close. Maybe a little farther and it would be decent. After all, it is a wide camera. Once again, colors are decent and could even be likened to those of 6,000 pesos and above. The phone has a dedicated night mode called Night Shot. It amplifies night images for a much brighter view. Unfortunately, this is the phone's biggest weakness. Using the auto mode, the image is washed out, is very dark, and the image overall is soft. Not the best phone in taking night images. Using the night shot feature, however, fixed the brightness and lighting, but the image still feels like a painting. Colors are still washed out, but it's now brighter and you could tell more from the image. The Aqua S9 also lets you take panorama shots. You can take a panorama shot horizontally or vertically, but you cannot change the direction. It only goes left to right. In terms of its quality, the picture itself is decent, although there are stitches when zoomed in. It's not as obvious when viewed normally, however. I was already very steady and careful when I attempted the panorama mode by hand. I also tested the portrait mode. It's a hit or miss. It could detect the background okay, but it struggles at low light. Also, it feels artificial and plasticky. However, in areas where light is adequate, it does a good job separating the background from the foreground. Not the best, but passable for social media. Take note that the phone could not use portrait mode on objects as it can only detect faces. When you are in video mode, there are a few options, including time-lapse, slow-mo, and auto mode. We took a video in 1080p, both in daylight and during the night, to show the difference in quality. I took this video around the afternoon, and the sun was directly hitting my camera. It was too late when I noticed it. The first video is in 1080p. The quality is blurry, but that's probably because I may have forgotten to wipe off the lens, or that I'm under direct sunlight. Colors are lacking, but the sound is decent. Taking the video under proper lighting conditions should fix the quality of it. What I found annoying is that the camera is having difficulty focusing as there's bouncing when I'm recording. I took this video with a steady tripod too. At night, just like the photos, the video quality degrades to a huge extent. The colors are now softer and everything feels washed out. The video is pretty dark too, as if taken during the midnight. The Aqua S9 has a built-in slow-mo feature, so we tested it. When we were actually filming, the phone started to stutter, although still managed to capture the film perfectly. Slow-mo apparently removes the sound, so take note of that. The slow-mo doesn't feel that slow at all, rather it feels like the video has just reduced frame rate or just a stutter. Still, it works as intended and nothing should be expected at this price point. It's just nice to see that a feature like slow motion is now available for a cheap device like this. Even at my most careful movement, the camera is still shaky, very shaky. You need to be at snail pace just so your video is steady. The quality is decent enough because lights are everywhere as I was inside an establishment. This is not a phone worth vlogging for as the video is unsteady even during the most careful of walks. So this is the front camera test for the Aqua S9. Right now, I'm walking
somewhere in SM. Uh, like what I said earlier, both cameras don't have EIS or OIS, so it might get a little shaky. But I'm pretty surprised. It's actually steadier than I thought it would be. Um, right now, there's a lot of bright light, so which means the video quality won't be as disruptive or as noisy. So if you're and the camera again is wide enough for more than 5 of your friends. So if you're on a trip and you want to vlog, then this one is actually pretty okay. It's not flagship quality like the Galaxy S21 Plus, but if you don't have a budget and you badly need a phone, this is the best phone you can get for the price. So yes, that's it. Thank you for watching my front camera test for the Aqua S9.
The performance test is the main reason why I want to get the Aqua S9. The Unisoc, formerly Spreadtrum, SC9863A is not the best choice for a chipset as the Aqua S9's older sibling, the Flare S8, comes with the MediaTek Helio P23, which should be better on paper. I was pretty much shocked to see the phone manage to reach 100k on Antutu, let alone nearly 110k points. This is better than the Flare S8, which came with 83k points. The phone's configuration is 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. So with that in mind, the Unisoc SC9863A seems promising. What I found interesting is that Mobile Legends seems to be more demanding than League, as the game has a tendency to frame drop. Even in high graphics, ML is pretty much playable. I had a field day playing the game. Though like I said, it stutters and there is no HFR mode available, so going for smooth is a better option. The game prevents you to using certain quality levels due to optimization, so I selected all the possible highest graphics settings for LoL. Unlike ML, League of Legends supports 60 FPS for the phone, so that's a plus. Gameplay-wise, the game is less demanding than ML, being able to run smoother and with less chances of frame drops, even during the action. For some reason, my screen recorder recorded COD with a pixelated quality, but nonetheless, Call of Duty ran well on the Aqua S9. The game only gave me one graphics option, which is low, and a choice between medium or low frame rates. Either way, this is a phone that can handle COD just fine. It got warm after a few hours of playing the game, and it ate the battery pretty fast. They say a budget phone cannot run heavy-duty games, so I tried that for the test. For this example, I used Genshin Impact. Unfortunately, this is the game where the phone truly struggles. Even at low graphics, the game does not run smoothly, and there's even a part where things don't get rendered. The world rendering is also slow. There are times that some areas near me don't get rendered until it is too late. The device got warm quickly too. The game is playable on the S9, but it's not recommended unless, of course, you have an extreme level of patience. As requested, I also tried to use a few emulators on the Aqua S9, these being PPSSPP, a PSP emulator, and EPSXE, a PS1 emulator. For EPSXE, I picked my favorite game as a kid. Again, it's Gran Turismo! Fun fact, this was also the highest selling game for the PS1, selling over 10 million copies. Small disclaimer, for some reason, I couldn't record the sound of the game, but at least you can see the game. I tried recording it so many times, but it just wouldn't budge. With the rest of the gameplay, the graphics are smooth, and this is with the OpenGL plugin, which makes things smooth. So, playing PS1 games on the Aqua S9 is not a problem at all. For PPSSPP, the sample I used was the most demanding game available for the PSP, which is Gran Turismo PSP. The reason for this is that I want to see the maximum potential the SoC can hold. Gran Turismo PSP is unplayable. This is already with frame skipping level 8 on. The game does not freeze, but as you can see, the game is unplayable. Everything looks pixelated, and the game runs at 7 frames per second, so the movement is jittery. Even the main menu lags oblivion. To be fair though, this is the highest demanding game on the PSP, so I'm sure games like NFS Underground Rivals will run more smoothly here, but I don't guarantee it. I used PCMark for the battery benchmarks since I couldn't find any other option. I had a bit of difficulty at first, but I managed to get a hold of a good record of the stats. The final benchmarks report that the phone can run for 12 hours and 58 minutes on standby, or approximately 13 hours. Not bad for a phone with a capacity of 5000 mAh, cause there are some phones that will do worse, and with stock Android, the battery is strong and does not die easily. As for the charging, we ran tests from 1 to 40% and 10 to 100% with the default 10-watt charger it came with. Unfortunately, it is really slow. It might even take forever to charge. The 10 to 100% test charged the full in 3 hours and 35 minutes. The 1 to 40% test charged within an hour. However, if you have a better plug-in brick, charging may be faster. It is recommended you use a fast charger so that the phone will charge even faster. The Aqua S9 is a very good contender for the price. Though it may not have all the perks and giggles other phones have, it certainly can compete with slightly higher priced phones, even with a questionable processor, which, to my surprise, it worked really well. In addition, you cannot get a 4GB RAM phone and full stock Android at this price range, as other competitors opt for 2GB of RAM and Android Go. If I'm going to say anything negative about the Aqua S9, I'd say it would be the video taking, as the quality is just bad, but for taking photos, I say this is adequate. So, if you're looking for an ultra budget performance phone, then this is for you.
Do you like my review of the Aqua S9? Well, if you did, kindly consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you'll be notified for my next video. If you didn't, well, thanks for watching anyway. And if you have the Aqua S9, please leave your opinion in the comments below and tell me what you think about the phone. Also, optionally, you can visit my social media links as well as purchase links also in the description below. Once again, my name is Rafael and I'm a Technophile.